Your mind is the most powerful weapon you have, but most people never learn how to use it. They let their emotions control them, their fears guide them, and other people's opinions shape who they become. But what if I told you you could train your mind to be so strong, so calm, so focused, that it actually scares people? Not because you're loud, not because you're aggressive, but because nothing, and I mean nothing, shakes you anymore. In this video, I'll show you the easiest way to build that kind of mind, the kind that makes people wonder how you stay so calm when everything around you is falling apart. And I'll share how I learned it not from a book, but from my own life. There was a time when my mind was chaos. Every little thing bothered me, a text left on read, a bad day at work, someone's opinion online. I overthought everything. I'd replay conversations in my head, worrying if I said the wrong thing. One day, I realized I wasn't living life. I was surviving it, reacting to everything instead of choosing how I felt. That's when I decided enough. I wanted peace. Real peace. Not the kind that comes from a vacation or a motivational quote, but the kind that stays even when life gets loud. So I started an experiment, not for a week, not for a challenge, but to rebuild my mind from the inside out. The first thing I did was simple. I stopped reacting. Sounds easy, right? But try it. Try sitting in traffic without cursing. Try being insulted and not defending yourself. Try being uncomfortable and just staying there. That's when you realize how weak most minds are, not because people are dumb, but because we never practice control. Every time I wanted to react, I paused. Every time I wanted to complain, I stayed quiet. At first, it felt unnatural, like I was holding my breath. But something interesting happened. When you stop reacting, you start observing. You start seeing how everyone else is a slave to emotion, and you quietly step outside that chaos. That's where strength begins. Building a strong mind isn't about being perfect, it's about being aware. I started doing 3 things every day that changed everything. One morning, stillness. Before I touched my phone, I sat in silence for 10 minutes. Not meditating perfectly, just being there, letting thoughts pass. It was uncomfortable at first, but soon I craved it. 2 mental reps. Every time something stressful happened, I'd tell myself, this is a test. It sounds cheesy, but framing problems as workouts for the mind made me stronger. 3 gratitude rewrites. At night, I'd rewrite my bad moments into lessons. Instead of today was stressful, I'd write, today tested my patience and I passed. Those tiny practices built a mental foundation I didn't even realize was forming until life decided to test me. Then it happened, the kind of week where everything goes wrong. Plans failed, people disappointed me, money got tight. Old me would have spiraled, complaining, panicking, losing control. But this time, I didn't flinch. I remember sitting there realizing I felt calm. Not because the problem was small, it wasn't, but because I wasn't small anymore. That's when I knew the real sign of a strong mind isn't when everything's going right, it's when you're unshaken when it all goes wrong. Here's what no one tells you about mental strength. It doesn't make you cold, it makes you peaceful. You stop chasing validation, you stop explaining yourself, you stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. People start noticing. They'll say, you've changed. You'll smile because you stopped being controlled by every emotion that passes through you. You start walking differently, not because you're better, but because you finally understand how powerful calm truly is. If you want to build a mind so strong it scares people, start small. Here's how. 1. Control your first reaction. Before you speak, before you post, before you complain, pause. That pause is where power lives. 2. Do hard things on purpose. Cold showers, waking up early, exercising when you don't feel like it. The goal isn't to suffer, it's to train your brain to stay calm under pressure. 3. Detach from outcomes. You can't control what happens, but you can always control how you respond. It's not about never feeling emotions, it's about never letting them drive the car. So here's what I learned. A strong mind isn't built in silence, it's built in struggle. It's not about being fearless, it's about doing what needs to be done, even when you're afraid. When your mind becomes stronger than your feelings, your world becomes calmer than your chaos. And that's when people start to fear you, because you've mastered the one thing most never do, yourself. If this spoke to you, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below. What's one thing you're doing this week to strengthen your mind? Remember, peace isn't found, it's built. And you're the builder.